Hey, I'm Markia. Want to hear something scary?
Drowning in the shallows. Kamiko was a beautiful young woman who was only held back by her shyness. So when Takeshi, a classmate to her when they were little and now captain of the soccer team, asked her out, she was thrilled but beyond nervous. Their hometown of Kyushu, Japan, had many romantic areas, but none as popular for high school dates as the secret beach. And that was exactly where they were headed. The secret beach was very picturesque, but private because it was forbidden. A lot of trouble seemed to occur there, including a few people who had recently gone missing. There were rumors that a creature known as the Nuri Onna, a huge sea snake with a human head, claws, and vampiric tastes, might be the cause. Kamiko was scared of the old legends, but she was far more worried about looking cool in front of Takeshi. Embarrassed to be nerdy enough to even know the stories, she decided not to put a damper on the mood and kept it to herself. The date was going well. Takeshi made her laugh about old times as they walked close together down to the picturesque shore. She felt like she could come out of her shell with Takeshi. As they ventured even closer to the water, Kamiko began to become uncomfortable with thoughts of aquatic fiends, but was distracted when Takeshi held her hand. It was a warm day, but as they rounded the bottom of a cliff, it blocked out the sun. The air got cooler and it got darker. Kamiko shivered, and Takeshi held her closer and began to lean in for a kiss. That's when the screaming began. Terrified screams from a woman nearby. "Help! My baby! My baby! I can't swim!" The couple ran towards the water and found a woman thrashing in the ocean some distance from the shore. With one arm, she supported a baby above the crashing waves. Kamiko was a skilled swimmer and Takeshi a natural athlete, so they both leapt into the raging waters without hesitation to help the mother and child. When they reached the woman, she quickly handed her baby off to Kamiko and latched onto Takeshi for dear life. As the woman caught her breath, Kamiko realized that she was able to stand in the water, which surprised her given her own smaller height. As Takeshi escorted the woman back towards the shore, Kamiko noticed something seemed to be following them. She looked down to see if maybe the woman was caught in seaweed and realized, much too late, what the woman actually was. That from the shoulders down, she was different. The woman's arms were actually crooked with long black nails that resembled a dragon's claws. Her skin had scales that glittered under the water. The woman peered over Takeshi's shoulder and stared at Kamiko with a hunger in her eyes. She licked her lips, revealing dagger-like teeth that dripped with drool. Kamiko stopped, dead in her tracks with the stories of the Nuri Onna racing through her mind. She looked down and saw that the baby she thought she held was in fact nothing alive at all. Just a homunculus of decaying sea life made to look like a baby. Kamiko screamed and tried to throw the imposter child away from her, but it suddenly sprang to undead life and held on tight, dragging her like an anchor into the water below. She fought against the baby doppelganger's grip, struggling to break the surface. She then felt a serpentine tail slither its way around her body. It squeezed her, slowly crushing her breath from her. Her eyes followed along the tail until she found Takeshi, struggling with the rest of the monster. Its claws were embedded so deep in his skin that she couldn't see any trace of them. The snake-like tongue of this gruesome creature was buried into Takeshi's throat, acting as a straw as it slurped his blood. As the coils of the monster tightened, the fake putrid baby fell away from Kamiko. She realized this might be her only chance to escape. With no other option, she bit as hard as she could into the monster's flesh, causing it to loosen just enough for her to make her escape. Takeshi's eyes met Kamiko's, and with the last of his strength, he began to choke the Nuri Onna, keeping it occupied long enough for Kamiko to breach the surface and gasp for breath. However, Before she could dive back under and try to rescue Takeshi, the tail of the Nuri Onna whipped out, knocking her backwards into the strong waves that then washed her back to shore. Neither her crush nor the monster ever surfaced, and the once shy woman knew that she would spend the rest of her life hunting this murderous, cunning beast, out for revenge against the Nuri Onna.